Hello, this is Amanda LOS, your quicker, waker, upper, and I'm going to show you how to work with an oracle. I have a little bit of Wonderland background here, and I'm going to use the oracle that I wrote, the Go Ask Alice Oracle and Tea Party game. Uh, there are so many ways, and I'm talking specifically about how to work with an oracle deck, meaning a deck of cards. There's a book or a booklet that goes along with it. There are lots of different kinds of oracles, and if you want to know a little bit about that, you can check out my video on what is an oracle. But specifically for a card deck, some people believe that you can't actually buy your own oracle. It has to be gifted to you, but I don't think that's necessary. I think if you find an oracle that you love, it appeals to you, then go ahead and treat yourself. Pick it out and enjoy. Some people like to clear the deck with sage, burning a little sage, especially if you've been using the deck already, somebody else has used it. You want to clear the energy from that deck from the previous use so you can have a reset. There are lots of different ways you can work with an oracle. I'm going to share with you my special way that I enjoy. I like to get the deck in my left hand. I like to hold it against my heart because your heart is a powerful amplifier of your own energies. I hold it to my heart and I think of something in my life that I would like greater wisdom and insights about, because that's what we use oracles for, is to get that greater insight. Press it against my heart and I think about the circumstances that I would like greater insight about. And when that feels clear, I also like to put my breath on it, because your breath is your life force essence, your spirit essence. So I blow it like that. You can spread them out and intuitively pick. You can cut the deck into a half. My friend, Penny Slinger, who wrote the Tantric Dakini Oracle, and she also wrote the 64 Dakini Oracle that's online. She recommends only once you've blessed it and, all the things, shuffled the deck, that you split it into 9. So you separate it into 3 stacks of 3, since I don't have 3 hands. I've split it into 3 decks, and then you put it together, and then you split it into 3 parts, and then you split it into 3 parts again, and then you split it into 3 parts again. So you get 9 different separations coming back together. And then the card that's on the top, you draw. And this card that I drew is the Eat Me Cake. You may be familiar with Alice in Wonderland, when Alice is down the rabbit hole trying to figure out how to get into the little garden. And so once you've picked your card, you can look up the oracle meaning. And I'm going to look up the Eat Me Oracle meaning in the Go Ask Alice Oracle and Tea Party game book. This is the oracle side. It's going to take just a minute because I didn't know what card I was going to draw. We're getting there. We're getting so close. Thanks for hanging in there with me. Here's the Eat Me Cake. This is, again, based on the archetypal wisdom found in Alice in Wonderland. It's based on the characters, the symbols, and the experiences found in Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, and the experience that we drew of eating the Eat Me Cake. And the quote from Alice in Wonderland is, "Well, I'll eat it," said Alice, "and either way, I'll get into the garden." And this one has keywords. A lot of oracles have keywords. The keywords for this is short-sightedness, lack of planning, mindfulness with resources, having your cake and eating it too. And then you'll read the oracle. I'm not going to go into reading the whole thing. This also has meditations to take you deeper into getting greater access to insights, guidance, and wisdom about whatever question you brought to the oracle. I recommend when you draw an oracle, whether it's this one or any other oracle deck, that you do take a moment after reading it to notice what stood out. Were there any things that maybe triggered resistance? Like, no, 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 that's not me. Or contraction, that might be something to explore. You can meditate with it. You can do some journaling about it. You can write, how does this apply to me? How might it apply to me? You can draw other cards for clarifying. There are in the Tarot system, which is broken down into major arcana, which are major archetypes. If you don't know what that is, stay tuned and I will cover what archetypes are, because it's helpful to know that when working with an oracle deck. Major arcana, and then minor arcana, which is the suits, which in Tarot deck system is cups, pentacles, wands, and swords. And they have different spreads, and you can draw a card for different things. You could draw, I often draw one about, you can do a card of the day. You can do a card representing yourself and somebody else. I like to do, if I'm thinking of a question about somebody in my life, I'll draw a card for myself in that circumstance, a card that represents them in the circumstance, and then a card that represents our dynamic together in the circumstance. You can do past, present, and future, which is fun. You can do one for every month of the year if you're doing one for your year. There's a classic tarot spread that's like represents you, obstacles or influences that are in your life, past things that are going out of your realm of influence, things that are coming into your influence, underlying the foundational pieces, things that are kind of crowning or overarching influences, and then it goes into like secret desires, final outcome and stuff like that. Usually, if you're working with a particular deck there, you'll notice in the very beginning of the book, they will have recommended spreads. There's a bunch of different kinds. It's really fun. Those are just a few examples to work with. If you are working with a deck that has a lot of writing in it, like the Go Ask Alice Oracle and Tea Party Game has a lot of writing, takes you deep into it, takes you deep in with at least one meditation per card. I like to stick with as few cards as possible because it's a lot of information to take in. Something very simple like a spirit animal deck. I'll get into, me, the other person, the dynamics. I do Go Ask Alice Oracle for me, a person in our dynamics together. But then I just focus on as the simplest meaning as possible. You can put your oracle out under the full moon to bless it up and activate it and energize it, just like people do with crystals. You can do that with an oracle. If you're working with a different kind of oracle, like a tool, like a pendulum or a crystal ball or a scrying bowl or whatever, you might want to bless that as well. And another thing I mentioned in my previous video about what is an oracle, I talked about making sure that you are calling in information, guidance, support, wisdom from something greater than you that wishes you well. So something benevolent, because there are all kinds of different influences out there. Something like a Ouija board tends to attract mischievous or even harmful entities that don't necessarily help you get helpful guidance. And so I like to set my intentions with the deck in general. You can do it every time you work with it and call in, something like a prayer or an intention. I'm calling in my guides, my allies, everything that's greater than me, that wishes me well. If there's a particular ascended master you work with, you might call upon their specific wisdom to influence your card reading that you're doing. But it is good to state your intentions about beyond just the deck. Are you calling in help and influences to guide you in your oracle reading? I like to do that. So that's just super, super basic, super simple way of how to work with an oracle. Please feel free to ask questions. If anything I shared on here piqued your curiosity, I love that. I love to answer your questions. If anything didn't make sense, I'm happy to clarify. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please feel free to subscribe because there will be more to come, and check out my other videos on here. I'll be doing frequent oracle readings, and the next one I do, actually, I'm going to do it right here. I'm going to show you how to use the Go Ask Alice Oracle. It's an oracle and it's a tea party game. So you can pick a card like I did with the Eat Me Cake and look up the oracle reading and get insights. If you would like to create fun ways of engaging with other people, whether it's just you're hanging out with a friend or you're at a gathering, some kind of party, you're throwing your own party, or you go to some social event and you'd like to create fun ways to interact with people, then you can flip the book over and same concept. You draw a card, but on the tea party side, you look up what are the instructions for that particular card. And so I'm going to look up the Eat Me Cake. The Eat Me Cake. The instructions for the tea party part are: take a moment to enjoy the food, imaginary if there isn't any, here at the table, and as you eat, imagine what part of your life you'd like to feed or grow with every bite. Share your thoughts with one of the other guests. So that's just one example of how to work with an oracle. It's also some specific instructions on how to work with the Go Ask Alice Oracle and Tea Party game. I made it hopefully ergonomically easy to use. You just flip it over and start on the other side for Tea Party. Enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. Again, ask me any questions. I'm here for you. And until we get to connect again, may a sense of wonder and the source be with you.